U5 Entertainment, U5 Worldwide, giving thanks to the fans and the people that support us. U5, we did it.
All right, everybody, what's up? This is Lady U5, and we're back again. You ain't gonna believe who we got today on the program. We got YD and the Izzy, and we're gonna get into this awesome interview. What's going on, YD? How are you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
Doing well. That before you wrote YD, you went by another name. You went by SAKE, and so we want to bring it way back to that point when you started writing graffiti, and tell us more about why you decided to go from SAKE to YD, and when did that occur? If you can elaborate on that.
In my early years from public school, when I was transitioning from public school to junior high school, I was experimenting with different graffiti names. I'm an artist, so even when I was at a very young age, I used to like to draw, and I used to experiment. And then I got into graffiti because I used to see a lot of it in the streets and the trains when I used to take the train with my folks, my mom and stuff like that. And then all these different names that I was experimenting with, I stuck with SAKE.
Oh yeah! So when this was occurring, you were living in Brooklyn, right? You were living in Brooklyn?
Yeah, I was living in Bushwick.
Okay, so you were born and raised in Bushwick?
Yeah, Bushwick, between Menahan, between Bushwick, between Evergreen, Bushwick and Evergreen.
Menahan between Bushwick and Evergreen.
Yeah.
Okay. I knew a couple cats out around that area. There was this crew called the BRC crew, the Bum Rush crew, Trini and those guys. I don't know if you ever came across those guys. But
no,
yeah,
I never did.
So you went and you. Well, how long did you write SAKE for? Because it looked like you had some history with that piecing and tagging up with SAKE. So you were doing that for a minute, right?
Yeah. Well, I got into it when in my later years in public school. I went to junior high school is when I really started getting into graffiti. And I had all these different names, and I used to go to school with this big black book. I had a big black book, and I would piece even at home, and then I would bring the book to school. And I had art class in junior high school, and I would like bring it there and kind of like show it off and everything. And I had all these different names, but for some reason I stayed with SAKE, and that's from public school to junior high school. So we're talking 78, 79.
So then during that period, who introduced you to graffiti when you were writing SAKE? Was it something you just picked up, like you said, just by watching graffiti around you, or was there something that kind of inspired you to actually begin, tagging up and writing and getting serious and involved with graffiti?
Nobody really introduced me to it. I can introduce myself because I used to see it all the time. It was everywhere, and then as time went on, there was writers that were much older than me that were all over the neighborhood. So I lived in Bushwick, and you got Williamsburg, and that area is all, intertwined. And so you had top writers that I gravitated to, like a lot of the guys from CW, for example.
Crazy
you got
writers.
Yeah, Crazy Writers. Big fan of Nif, EO, Soul, may he rest in peace, Wax, Nut, all those guys.
So you brought up Nut and Nasty. Now I remember there was a period when they were out there. They came through Bushwick and it was tagging up with the thick spray paint, the Nut and Nasty. And I was like, man, who are these guys? Because it seemed like they came, but then all of a sudden they were gone. I'm like, what happened to these guys? And I kind of compared them in a manner of speaking to Easy and Jaws and Send 4, with the big thick tags and whatnot, and they were always together, like a pair. So I didn't know whether, sometimes people pick up these aliases. I didn't know. I thought maybe that's someone's alias, so that's why I hadn't seen it any other time. But I guess did they stem from Bushwick as well, or did they come from like the south side of Bushwick, like going towards like Grand Street and Graham Avenue, that area?
Well, I know that Un and Bogey are from Williamsburg. Un was the vice pres of CW, and Bogey was the pres of Crazy Riders, and I know they were from the south side. All the other guys, those guys were older than me, and I never really got to hang out with those guys, but I don't know off the top of my head if they were from the south side of Brooklyn, but I know that the presidents of CW were from Williamsburg.
Gotcha. So, based on your name, SAKE, you probably got a lot of rubs, where people saying, for goodness sake, man, get it on, rock that piece, man.
Yeah, for God's sake.
For God's sake. Yeah, well, you know what? That's the reason why you wrote graffiti. You was doing it for God's sake. God commanded you to go out there and do those fabulous pieces. I see a lot of remarkable pieces from you on the lines and whatnot.
I had a good excuse.
Yeah, you had the support from the higher power.
Yeah.
So what crews do you, first of all, do you lead and run a crew? Are you like a pres of a crew?
Yes.
So what's the name of the crew?
TST, the Supreme Team.
Oh yeah!
KOG, Kings of Graffiti, and WR.
But you're the pres of TST?
I'm one of the preses. Delk is the pres.
Okay.
And I'm the vice.
All right, so you're vice from TST crew. All right.
We kind of go back and forth with that one because me and Delk created the crew together.
Oh, okay.
So, we used to joke around and say, okay, let's we'll flip a coin, and today you wear the pres hat. All right, and then if I win, I'll wear the pres hat. So we're both preses, but I said, hey, vice, pres, doesn't matter. We created the crew together, and so,
So why did you create the crew?
Well, that crew, we were bouncing around different names. We were riding around on the M train one summer day, and we got off on Fresh Pond Road. We were on the side going towards the last stop, which was Metropolitan.
Right, Metropolitan Avenue.
And I remember like if it was yesterday, man. We got off, and we went by the sandbox there, and me and Doug was just hanging out, and we were just, chilling and whatnot. And then we came up with the Supreme Team, and we both agreed to run with it.
So who are some of the members after the crew was formed?
Well, we had Heat, we had AT, we had KP, we had a lot of the few riders from Bay Ridge, because at the time Delk was living with his mom in Bay Ridge, and I was in Bushwick, so we had both areas covered. So he had a lot of his friends that was rocking TST too, like Sess, Coma, just to name a few.
Yeah.
And then slowly, the crew matured, and we got more members, and it started, progressing.
So how is the relationship now with those crew members that you mentioned, with TST and WR and all the others that you're a part of?
Well, a lot of people have moved on with their lives, and it's not the same when we were kids.
Yeah.
I keep in touch with. I can count on one hand how many people I keep in touch with on a regular basis. So not many. The only ones that I really keep in touch with right now as we speak is Coma, Delk, AT. That's it. And if I get to see any of the fellas that do represent TSTs, usually on social media, and that's probably once in a blue moon.
Right.
I would have never thought that 45 years later this would be an item to speak of. I was just in the moment.
Yeah.
Just like a lot of other guys, we were young kids looking for escape. Because being at home was, boring as fuck, and so we would just go out into the street for whatever reason.
Well, graffiti is the first element of hip hop, and you seen that hip hop in general, like the overarching hip hop with all the different elements, it has become an industry. From clothing to music. To DJing, everything is a part of the hip hop culture. So now with the internet, after the information age came, everyone's so interested in learning about the roots of hip hop. And when you drill all the way down, it comes to graffiti. And looking at the pioneers, like I was discussing, holding up the book Subway Art. Mm-hmm. This is just a few years right after that you were out, you said about 78, 79. Well, this came out just a few years later with Subway Art, and this captures their tales, right? Lee, Dondi, Ventura, Zephyr, all these guys that we looked up to. But now, when graffiti started getting popular in the trains, after that era, we didn't have much time left, right? Because Mayor Koch was out there with his big, wipe out graffiti campaign. And after Koch was done and over with, then I think Mayor David Dinkins came on board. He continued to move forward with that agenda. And Giuliani came on board as well, started cleaning up 42nd Street, all that area of New York City, Manhattan. And the trains were cleaned, right? So what happened then at that point? Because when the trains got cleaned, what was running through your mind?
Well, graffiti wasn't, riding on the trains and going into the yard or tunnels or what have you, was kind of like diminishing, so it wasn't really an option. So then I started focusing my ideas elsewhere, like making money. I got caught up selling drugs and stuff, and I got caught up in that kind of lifestyle. A lot of graffiti writers, unfortunately, went down that road. I'm one of them.
So when that was occurring, right? You're involved with graffiti. Now you're gravitating towards, selling products out there in the streets, whatnot. Where was your family, and how were they involved? What were the sorts of conversations you were having with your family members back at home? You were still young. I mean, what was going on back at the home front, insofar as that was concerned?
Well, my mom and dad, they divorced when I was at a very young age. I can barely remember. That's how young I was, but I do remember. So there wasn't no father figure in the house. I had my mom, I had my grandmother, which they both passed away. May they rest in peace. And I had my older brothers, and my older brothers are like 12, 13 years older than me, so they're from a different generation, So I couldn't relate to them in any shape, form, or fashion, And when I started going down that road, you know, I put my mom through a lot of hell. Put her through a lot of hell, man. There was plenty nights that I would come, well, not even nights, I would come the next day. You know, plenty of times, you know. But she was praying for me, you know, and thank God that I was able to persevere and I was able to, get out of that, you know. I was still painting though. I would paint, I would do handball courts and stuff like that once in a while, you know. But I was more consumed in the negative, you know, that was going on in the streets, you know.
Yes, and
fortunately.
Yeah, so during that period, you know, I've mentioned in some of my podcasts here with the U5 Newsflash that there was other dangers out there in the streets, not just graffiti crews, and you had other gangs that were out there. I mean, in the 80s, I don't know whether you remember the Decepticons were out there. In Bushwick, you had all kind of different small groups or crews. You had Kosciuszko Boys, Hardy Boys, you know, HBO. You had a lot of cliques, a lot of drug dealers. I mean, all kind of cliques. And posses out there. Bushwick Posse was out there, right? Darryl Stinker, all those folks. And so you had kind of like a really, really big mixture of different types of groups. Even in Bushwick High School, where I graduated from, you had the jocks were like usually those that were on the swimming team, and then you had the drug dealers, and then you had the graffiti artists, and then you had the freaking nerds and whatnot. And so it was you saw all that, you know, in Bushwick. It was really crazy. What high school did you go to, by the way?
Well, when I graduated junior high school, I enrolled in vocational high school, Chelsea Vocational High School in Manhattan.
Okay, heard of it.
And so I was taking up electrical installation and practice, and I went there for about 2 years, and then I lost interest, and I transferred to Bushwick High School.
Oh. What year were you in Bushwick High School then?
I was there, let me see, 83, 84? I would think. Yeah, because I graduated junior high school in 82.
Yeah.
So 83, then I was in Chelsea Vocational High School for about a year and a half, 83. So 84.
So were you down with did you play handball? They had a handball team. Bushwick High School had a handball team.
They had a team for everything.
I mean, they had it going on. You know, they had it going on for a bit. And you know what I liked about Bushwick High School? It looked so majestic, you know, coming toward it. It looked like a freaking castle. You know,
it does, yeah.
The pool. And it fell into disarray later on. It's so unfortunate. You know, I've made a lot of returns back to Bushwick in different guises. I was there as a U.S. Army recruiter, trying to go and get folks, you know, enlisted into the military. And it's kind of interesting because they had this off-standish posture towards recruiters. They didn't want me in there speaking to the students. It was just a mess. I'm like, I'm from here. I graduated here. I'm a product of Bushwick. You should be proud that I'm serving my country. I've done something constructive with my life, and you know, you don't want me to even to set foot within the school. It was just really odd.
You're lucky if you get a high.
Yeah, exactly. It was so weird, you know.
I remember the last floor wasn't in use. You know,
that's right.
High School.
All the way on the top. And I remember you can look down and you can see the rooftop of the pool. They had a swimming pool there. You can see the rooftop of the pool. At one point we went out there, we painted this gigantic head for U5 on the rooftop.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember going up there, and I used to see kids going up there too. You know, like who knows what, you know. But I would just go up there because I'm being nosy.
Yeah, but they had the band there. It was a pretty good run. Bushwick High School, it was pretty decent. But they wound up closing the school, and then they reopened it, and then they kind of split it into different, kind of like what you did, vocational schools. I don't even know what the situation is right now with there. Each time I go there, it looks like it's under construction. It looks like something's going on.
I ended up dropping out though. I dropped out, and then I went to Bushwick Outreach.
Bushwick Outreach.
Yeah, and that was over at, if I'm not mistaken, the 291 building.
That's right. They have one area where you can slip in along Wilson Avenue. That one door you can go into.
One door, yeah. One door. One door to go in, one door to go out.
That's it. I remember that. And, honestly, when I see some of the folks going in and out of there, I'm like, damn, they look like they're in their 30s going in. It's,
oh, man.
older looking folks going in there.
I looked at older for my age.
Yeah.
When I used to hang out with the fellas, I was the guy that was buying the beer.
Now, on the side of that building on 291, that was where the popular heat piece was, right? The big heat piece on the side of the
heat, yeah. We went to school. We went to the outreach together.
Look at that. That's
yeah, and we graduated together.
No kidding.
Yeah, and there was a couple other. Pizer, may he rest in peace. He was going there.
Yeah, Angel. Yeah,
good
man.
Friend of mine, man. I miss him, man. He was a real nice guy.
Rest in peace to Pizer, PZ of Kings Only crew.
Kings Only, yeah.
Also to Heat, WR. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. May they rest in peace.
May they rest in peace.
So you've been, where were you? I wanted to raise this question. I'll raise it out to those that are on the program. And for those that are joining us now, you're listening to U5 News Flash, and we've got YD, who formerly went by SAKE. And I wanted to pose this question to you. September 11th, 2001. Where were you? Did that affect you in any manner? Did you see any effect that it had on graffiti or anything else?
I moved to upstate New York in late 89, 90, and I've been up here ever since. So when the plane struck the towers on 9/11, I was working. I used to work for a pharmaceutical company, and I was manning the phones. I was a customer service representative, and I was on the phones. And when we had a day room, and there was some folks, taking their breaks, and they had the TV on, and I was doing my job, but I was kind of wondering what the heck they got the TV on for, and come to find out that something really bad happened in Lower Manhattan.
Yeah. So you were upstate New York, kind of like towards Poughkeepsie, Kingston, that area?
In the Albany area.
Albany, okay.
About 3 hours away from the city.
Yeah, that's the capital of New York, Albany, huh?
Yeah.
So back on your history as far as graffiti is concerned, when you were upstate there, describe the graffiti scene at that point. What was going on around you as far as graff is concerned?
Well, at that point, I kind of retired from graff. I really wasn't doing anything. I just had no interest in it at all.
Gotcha.
When I left the city and came here, I met my wife, and we're still together by the grace of God, and I have a son, and so I have a family, and I was able to stay here. And when I first came to upstate New York, I didn't know if I was going to stay here or not. I had family that lived here, and that was one of the reasons why I came to upstate New York, and I stayed ever since. I got used to it, and and I've been here ever since.
New York City and New York State, completely different, right? Is a lot
Totally,
more?
totally different. Totally different, man. I am
Is it less
fortunate.
stressful over there? Is it less stress over there, upstate New York, compared to
the air is much cleaner. The air is much cleaner. I can tell you. Yeah. It's totally different. You know, no congestion. No, 100 people walking the streets. You know, obviously there's no subways here, so you got to have a car. But everything is pretty much, depending where you live. Public transportation is not a problem unless you live in the sticks.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, I guess before you went upstate, then, what were some of the popular graph wars that you watched occurring, like maybe in the late '80s, early '90s, that period?
Oh, graph wars! Heck, I was in one or two myself.
He was in a couple of them. And by the way, you got one of the sickest throwies. Just to let you know, YDs, man, those throwies are sick. So
thank you.
You got one of the most perfect, cool throwies, in throwy history. There's only a couple others that I think that are on par. Of course, OE is a classic, Cap, but your YDs.
Thank you. It kind of that throwy kind of evolved on its own, because when I first started writing YD, the throwy used to be in a slant. It used to be slanted, and then as I started doing it a lot, I kind of straightened up,
You straightened up your act, huh?
Yeah, straightened up the YD. Yeah. He was like leaning like this,
Yeah. So I'm gonna name a few writers, and maybe you've heard of them, maybe you haven't. If you have, you can just say a comment, heard of him, good artist, or never heard of the guy, or seen him up, or mad respect, or I've pieced with him, wrote with him, whatever, right? And we just keep it moving from there. And I'll start off with some of my fellow U5 members, like Audi U5.
Audi?
Yes.
No.
Okay, how about out in Queens, Tesk?
TESK?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, how about Webb, 113 Webb?
I know Weber.
You know Weber, the other Webb, yeah.
Weber, yeah, the other Webb, yeah.
Okay, they're both fantastic. Maybe 168.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Domain from NOK Crew.
No, not off the top of my head.
Okay. CQ.
CQ. No.
From TOS.
No.
Stack. FUA.
Stack. STAK.
Yes.
Yes. He's from Bushwick.
Right.
Okay, it's the same guy.
Yeah. How about Kev? KEV.
KEV?
Yeah, Kev.
Yeah, I heard of Kev.
How about on the West Coast, Duster?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. From Manhattan, Fogs, 501 Crew.
Yes, I've heard of him, yes.
RD, 357.
Yes.
JA, Ecstasy Crew.
Yes.
Ghost. You ever heard of a guy named Ghost?
Oh, yeah, I know Ghost.
I was reading your interview from like almost 2 decades ago, and that story you had on Ghost, incredible. Had me rolling. How about MQ?
I'm sorry?
MQ.
MQ? No.
Okay, how about VFR?
With a V?
Yes.
I've seen his tags, yeah.
Obviously, Easy.
Yes.
Fib, FIB.
FIB, yes.
Let's see, back in Bushwick, Spot.
Spot. I've seen that up before, yeah.
Yeah. Show.
Show, yes, definitely. Definitely, yes.
All right. How about on the lines? Back on the lines. Conan.
Conan, yes.
Okay. GA.
G-A, yes.
Okay. Trap.
Trap, yes.
Poet.
I know both.
Okay. How about Pose? P-O-E-S.
P-O-E-S, yes. Definitely know him.
Sept. S-E-P-T.
Sept. I've seen it up before, yes.
Back in Brooklyn here. Southside Brooklyn. Adam.
Adam, yes.
Yeah. How about the CE?
C-E, yes.
Okay. All right. Tell us about your favorite graph magazines. Were you ever involved in graph magazines?
I used to like The Source.
No, I got a couple magazines here. These are some of the old school magazines. This was one of the original magazines from back in the day called Graph News that was put out by GA.
Oh, okay.
Black and white magazine. Obviously, folks know about graphic scenes, explicit language, GSL. But how about folks like this? Remember the Van Bode characters with Cheech?
Oh yeah, Cheech Wizard. Yeah,
Cheech Wizard?
definitely. Yeah.
This is one of my boy RQ5's favorite. He loves drawing these guys.
A lot of beautiful whole cars were done with those characters.
Yeah, a lot.
Especially on the number line.
A lot of good artists here as well. There's a book called Spray Can Art. I don't know if you've ever seen this one.
Yes, I've seen that book. Yeah.
Yeah, Spray Can Art.
I got that book.
Yeah.
I think I got it.
What
Somewhere.
kind of music were you involved with back in the days in New York City?
Oh man, when I used to go clubbing in Manhattan, house music.
House music?
Yeah, man. I used to like the old school house music. I used to go clubbing a lot with my boy G Wiz, may he rest in peace. My boy Flynn Top. Sane used to come with us once in a while. Yeah, we used to hang hard, man. We used to go to those clubs, and I miss it.
I picked up some vinyls from Bond, from Drug Crew, because I'm into the old school.
Oh, Cliffy. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
B.O., yeah. Me and him go back.
He sent me over a Fascination, Why You Wanna Go.
Oh, wow.
And one of my cousins was actually one of the original Latin hip hop divas. Her name is Lottie Da. She came out with this song called Infatuation. Way back in the days, it was a hit.
Wow, no kidding.
Yeah, that's my cousin, Lottie Da, Infatuation.
Wow, that's cool, man.
So
that is cool. That's a keeper.
Yeah, it is. But the folks I grew up listening to, folks like this, MC Shan, right?
Oh yeah.
Down by Law.
MC Shan.
Yeah, and of course, our era, White Lines. Of course, everyone knew that song.
Oh yeah, that was the national anthem for the cokeheads.
Yeah. I used to hit, places like Lemoore East and 1018s.
Yeah, 1018. Yep.
Studio
Bonds.
54, right? Studio 54 was a hot spot.
We went to the Copa one night, and it was me, G Wiz, may rest in peace, Flynn, and who else? I think Flynn's little brother was with us, and Sane. Right, and they didn't let us in because I think one of us didn't have. We didn't have slacks on. We had jeans on. There was a long line. Yeah, I think they just didn't.
Yeah, those places will bust your chops all the time. If you try to get into the Limelight, if you try to get into Roseland, places like that, they're on you, like seeing whether you fit the bill.
So we couldn't go in that night. So we got back in G Wiz's car, and then we're driving around, and we drive by this club that Sane is familiar with, and he goes, "Hey, pull over," and so G Wiz pulled over, And Sane and Flynn gets out of the car and they go into the club, you know. So me and G Wiz and Flynn's little brother were waiting in the car, but they're taking a long time, you know. So, you know, and so we're already, you know, we drank a couple of beers, you know, we're tripping on mescaline, you know. So we're like, you know, antsy, like what the hell's going on? These guys are taking too long. So then I get out of the car, you know, and I told you I'm gonna go and see what's going on, right? And so there's a bouncer outside, and I tell him, hey, how much is it to get in? And the guy tells me, I don't think you want to go in there. You know, I'm like, why? He tells me it's gay night.
Oh,
it's gay night. Yeah. So I go back to the car and I'm cracking up, and I tell G Wiz, listen, man, these guys went in there, I think, Sane set up Flynn because it's gay night, man. So we waited for like 15, 20 minutes. They didn't come, so we left. The next day, comes to G Wiz. I spend the night over at G Wiz's apartment over there in East New York, and Flynn, he shows up. It's like the crap, you know, like 7, 8 in the morning. And he's like, man, I was dancing in there, man, and all I saw was I didn't see no women, you know, so dancing, you know, and Sane left me stranded here, man, you know, and I picked up on it, man. So it was funny, man, you know, just the way it all played out, man.
Damn, that's crazy.
Good times.
How about graffiti movies? What movies did you like watching? The movies? Any movies?
Star Wars.
Star Wars is
yeah,
one of the
that's
classics.
My favorite. That's my favorite.
You ever seen this movie before? Bomb the System?
Bomb the System? Don't think I have.
Yeah.
And if I did, I don't remember.
This is a good story, man. Bomb the System. You know, so graffiti has changed so much over the years. You know, back in the days when we were growing up, doing the graph thing, we had to go and create our own markers. We had to go rack paint. We had to go and create, you know, thick GIFs. So when we sprayed out, we were like using. I used to go and use these gem blades to go and cut into the actual nozzles. Maybe make an X or a cross or. But these days, you got so much going on. You can learn how to do graffiti on the internet. They'll teach you how to do bubble letters. They'll teach you how to do straight styles. You got folks out there doing graffiti on currency. This is an example of one here.
Oh, wow. Yeah, graffiti has evolved over the years.
So there's a lot going on with graph.
I mean, the fat caps they got now, I mean, it's unbelievable.
They're ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, like, it's so wide, you know, and overseas.
I saw a video the other day of a guy grabbing 2 spray cans and he's spraying it simultaneously with both of them, creating this really cool 3D effect, you know, with the 2 spray cans. But it wasn't spraying the little skinny lines. It was spraying lines that were each like, you know, 3 to 4 inches thick. I'm like, damn, it was just ingenious and incredible.
Yep. Yeah. It's evolved.
You've got copies of the subway maps still, because they're hard to find. You've got.
Oh yeah, I got stacks of them.
You got them?
Yeah, I got stacks of them that the fellas have sent me. I still got them there. I haven't used them.
Ralph McDaniel's Video Music Box. Did you ever watch that growing up?
Video Music Box, yep. MTV.
Remember that? MTV. How about Video Graph with Nick One and the others?
Videograph?
Yeah.
Not really.
They had about like 11 episodes they sell out there. Videograph.
Yeah, man.
What were your favorite spots to go and hit?
Oh, bombing wise?
Yeah.
Oh, well, the M Yard, of course. M Yard, Halsey Layup, Union Turnpike, 75th. Sheepshead Bay. Been to the Dewey Yards. Actually, the Dewey Yard was one of the first yards I went to when I first started writing. I've been to the Ghost Yard with Duro. What else? New Lots, the Yard.
New Lots, okay.
Yeah. Wasn't a fan of that yard, but I've been there a couple of times.
Well, what was your scariest moment when you're out there piecing? You get rolled up by a vandal squad, you rolled up by another crew, did you almost hurt yourself or injure yourself while you were piecing? Any scary moment?
Oh wow. I was doing a top to bottom SAKE. A SAKE top to bottom whole car. To this day, I'm hoping that one day someone will pop up with the picture. I had pictures, but I lost them, unfortunately. But I did a top to bottom over at Atlantic Avenue layup.
Okay.
So if you take the double L elevated, double L to the last stop to Canarsie, you'll pass, Atlantic Avenue.
Right.
And it's like, I don't know how many stories up in the air, man. When I used to go there, I used to get off on the J line, go upstairs, and I used to walk all the way to the end of the platform and walk the track. And I used to walk it all the way to the layup, because there was guys that would climb the pole all the way up.
That's what I would do.
Yeah, but it's dangerous. I wasn't a fan of that. I mean, it's dangerous either way.
Yeah.
But it was more convenient for me to do it that way. And I was alone when I went and did the top to bottom. So I went. It took me 2 days. I went one time. It was in the summer. The second day, I think it was a Sunday morning, bright and early. I think about maybe 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. I go to the layup, I go to finish up my piece, and then I run into the fellas, Jazz and them, MOG, Jazz, IE, may rest in peace, and I think, who else? Broker, and maybe some other guy, I don't know. Well, they were there, So I was filling in one of the letters of the top to bottom, and I lost my footing. And mind you that there's 2 lanes laid up, so I'm in between the 2 cars.
Right.
So what I did was I'm painting the one car, and then the other car that's right in front of it, you open the side doors, all the side doors, so you have easy access to the train you're painting. And so I came down, I lost my footing, and my foot went through the catwalk. Now, mind you, though, who knows how old those planks are, man? They're like very fragile. My foot, my whole leg went through.
Damn.
And thank God one of the guys was nearby, and he helped me up, Jazz. He extended his hand.
You could have fallen from there. How high was that from?
Man, I would think like 6 stories, and that's just, it's high up there. I think I'm spot on, as far as height is concerned.
You would have been in Ghana, man.
Yeah, that was a scary moment.
How about any unexpected run-ins? Any, whether good or bad or indifferent, any unexpected run-ins with another graffiti artist?
Well, I used to go to the M Yard a lot. One of my first partners was Nell 106. I don't know if you ever heard of Nell. He was pres of BMT, bombing mass transit. He used to live over on Halsey in Bushwick. So we used to go to the yard all the time. We used to run into a lot of young kids running in and out of the yard, and they were making the yard hot and everything. So one day we ran into these riders, and I didn't know until later on. It turned out to be Ghost, And so
was that when Risk Crew was popular, or before that?
I think before that. I think that was way before he was known. I think those were his early years.
I think he used to also write Six Pack, right? He's write Six Pack all around.
He used to write Six Pack? Not that I'm aware of. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, so you know, we're all young kids, you know. I mean, you know, we scared them, and you know, we told them, hey man, you know, we want some paint. We want some paint. You know, we're gonna get some paint. You know, so we escort. This is no lie, man. I mean, when I think about it, it's like, holy shit. We escorted them out of the yard, man, and we got in the train, and we're escorting them on the train all the way to Queens Plaza. All the way to Queens Plaza, you know? And we were telling them, you're going to get us some paint, man, you know? We literally kidnapped them. You know?
So that's the first time I've ever heard of a graffiti artist being kidnapped on the subway train to
he was scared to death. He was scared to death.
You were vicking him for paint.
Yeah, he was scared to death, man. So we got off, we went upstairs, there was a cop right by the token booth. He starts yelling, hey, they kidnapped me! These guys kidnapped me!
That's crazy.
Me and Nell looked at each other, we jumped the turnstile, we ran out into the street. True story. Yeah.
Oh man. That's gotta be one for the record there. That's really, really outrageous, man. Because I've never heard of a graffiti artist abducting another graffiti artist, kidnapping him to go, and then abducting him on the train ride from Brooklyn to Queens. You made it all.
We were sitting across from him, like, you know, you make one move, we're gonna beat you up.
Ah.
He went along with it until we got to Queens Plaza, and that cop was in the by the token booth.
Wow, he's lucky.
Yeah.
How about these crews? I'm going to mention a few crews and tell me whether you've heard of these folks. Some of them are crews, some of them are actually just non-graffiti related. Top crew is Sir.
Top, the Odd Partners?
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Right. Hot crew, hot.
Hot?
Yeah, like BB, hot crew.
No.
X-Men.
Tattoo, yeah. Tattoo's cool.
AST.
AST.
Yeah, it's ran by Zacto.
No.
X-Vandals.
X-Vandals, yes.
Decepticons.
Yes.
UK, United Kings.
Yes, I've heard of.
GTF crew. That's FN's crew.
FN's, yes.
RFA.
RFA. No.
BSK, of course, right?
BSK, yep.
WTO.
WTO. Yes, I've heard of that.
And obviously NWC.
NWC, yes.
All right. Well, any regrets? You have any regrets in your graph history? Graph centric. It's like, man, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I shouldn't have ragged that guy. Maybe I shouldn't have went over his piece. Maybe I should have rocked that piece when I had a chance. Any regrets?
That's a good question. I had fun, you know. I can't think of a moment where it wasn't fun. I can't think of anything that would, you know, that I can say, damn, I regret doing this while I was writing graffiti.
You was living in the moment, right?
I was in the moment, you know, and I was having a lot of fun, you know, having a lot of fun.
How about you said you have a son?
Yeah, I have a son. His name is Gabriel.
Is he involved in any sort of graffiti, music, art?
He's a fan. Yeah, he's a fan of graffiti. But he doesn't like, you know, he's not like into it like that. He likes his music, you know. He likes his fashion, you know. He likes to, you know, he likes hip hop. He likes his music, you know. But he doesn't write graffiti or anything like that.
Gotcha.
What
do you think?
I think one regret that I do have now that I think about it is I wish I had my camera more often. I wish I had my 110 camera more.
They don't know the struggle we had. 110s, 35 millimeter. Like, what's that?
A lot of the whole cars that I have found over the years is to somebody else's lens. You know, somebody else is taking pictures, and I appreciate that, man. Some of those cars that I did, I don't even remember where I did them.
Wow.
Because a lot of the time, most of the time when I went to the yard, I wasn't alone, and I was probably high on weed or something, you know, so I don't, you know, we're talking 40, 45 years, you know, so.
Right. I've got a hell of a lot of negatives. I'm going to go and change over to JPEGs, and I've got probably about 1,000 printed photographs from the late 70s to now. So if I come across your name, I'll let you know. I'll set it aside and send it over to you.
Oh, that'll be great.
Pretty sure with all the names I've got, I probably got something of yours within that stack. Well, what is it you want to leave to the culture itself, to graffiti in general? What is it you want to go and tell folks that are, you know, getting involved in graffiti or have been just interested in graffiti and its origins? Is there anything you want to leave to the culture from the perspective as a writer, and also as from the perspective of a prez of graffiti crew?
Like if someone is first getting into it?
Right, or those that are just interested in graffiti, is there something that you want folks to take away from, you know, and appreciate about graffiti that you want them to know about or want them to hear?
Well, graffiti to me is, you know, an expression. It's you know, at a very young age, of course, I started. A lot of us started graffiti at a very young age, and for me, it was my way of expressing myself, channeling my energy and my God-gifted talent to the world, you know. And graffiti to me is a positive because it's art. It's art, you know. You're speaking to your art, you know.
Where's the craziest place that you've at? Where's the craziest, most outlandish place that you can remember throwing a YD throw up on?
Inside a train. Inside. I did a throw up with a fill-in inside a train because it was too cold outside.
Huh. So
I
you
didn't
did
want
doors, or did you do like one whole row of chairs? What did you do the throw up on?
Oh, right on the panel, right where you know the two-seaters, two-seaters, and then you got the conductor's booth right there.
Right.
I did a YD right there. Filled in and everything because it was freezing cold outside. I said, heck with this. I'm gonna do throw-ups inside the train. Yeah, I think that was the most craziest.
So do you have any projects, graffiti related projects? Do you have a book in the works? Do you have a magazine? Do you got slaps that people can grab, or any merch, anything that you want to promote or let folks know out there that you know that you've got some stuff out there in the street or something in the works?
Well, I currently got sticker packs. There's a link on my YD43 Instagram page that folks can click onto, and it'll lead you to eBay.
Okay, so you got the stuff on eBay, right? So if we type in white slaps, something will show up, right? And you can grab that.
Yeah, 2 slaps, a personal slap, personalized by me, and a nice YD throwy pin.
Oh, all right. You got pins.
An enamel pin, and it's right on either the front of a J train, a BMT train, or a bulldog, because YD does mean yard destroyer or yard dog.
Oh, yard destroyer, yard dog. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a real nice catch, you know.
Did you ever have to go and climb on top of a train during a raid to not get caught?
Yes, I have. I have. I remember just for kicks, I was on top of the trains in the air yard. We went in there one time. It was a bunch of us. Me, Reps, Joe 61, KC, may he rest in peace. And I don't remember this, but Reps was telling me that I was up on the trains and I was jumping from car to car.
Oh.
Yeah. I must have been on something because
Last time, I think I hit the age like maybe once or twice, and I came across RSW Crew, I think they were called. Rockaway Subway Riders, Devo, and some other folks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right in the A yard there?
Yeah, that was once or twice I've been out there. Matter of fact, when we hit those trains, they came out in that movie Coming to America. We didn't get Coming to America, GA, when it rolls in, you see GA.
I love that movie.
Yeah, that was that night.
I'm looking for Hakeem.
Hakeem, yeah.
Dad, looking for Hakeem.
Yeah, I tell you, Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall, man, those guys were a trip.
Grant Layup was another layup that was.
Grant Layup.
Oh man, I remember going in there.
Layup, actually, you know what? It might have been Grant Layup. I'm thinking,
Grant Layup, yeah.
It was Grant Layup.
Yeah, we got raided there one time, and I tried to get out the hatch, going into the street, and the hatch wouldn't open, and that's because the paddy wagon was on the hatch.
Yeah, they would do that. Yeah.
I had to run all the way out.
Oh.
Out into the, to the tunnel, out into the street to get out. We went in there one time like we owned the damn layup. We had music. I think it was me, Reps, and a couple other fellas. Plus, my boy Plus TBC. We were in there. Oh, BO was there too. And then we were all fucking getting high in there. In the car. And we had a radio and everything, playing music.
Wow, you guys are just having a good old time, just relaxing.
Yeah, we were in there, man, and my boy Plus got so drunk we had to help him down out of the train and out of the layup.
Huh.
You probably don't remember, but I sure will. Yeah.
So for those that are joining us right now, this is Radio U5. This is U5 Newsflash. This is episode number 16. I'm over here with YD TST crew in the house. And, we've covered quite a lot of territory here from the 80s, back in the 80s in Bushwick High School. And also with your previous moniker, SAKE. You did a lot of damage with that. Plenty of work that you put in. Just between SAKE and YD, I think that's a lot of work for one person. Usually you've got someone that comes in, they'll start hammering stuff out with one tag, and then they will immediately start, shifting over to a new tag and then making a name for themselves with the secondary tag. But you, on the other hand, from your history, when I'm looking at it, it looks like you've been able to capture a really, really broad stretch with both tags, SAKE and YD. So I really, really applaud you with that. And also want to thank you for taking the time to come on the show and, sharing a little bit of your history, your upbringing, some of the challenges that you've been through, graft related, also in your personal life, what now, I wish you all the best, in your personal life. And if you're ever out here passing through Virginia, look me up, and perhaps we'll grab a bite to eat, and we'll go over some of those graph history together, face to face. But
that'd be great.
I appreciate that, man. And if you get any shout outs, it's on you. Any shout outs you want to go and shout folks out, this is your time, bro.
Well, I want to shout out my family first and foremost. My wife Paulette, my son Gabriel, the fellas Doug, Coma, and my boy AT. And he and his wife and his loving family. There's not a day that doesn't go by that I don't think about him. He's surely missed, truly missed. May he rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace for Heat. I appreciate that, and once again, thanks for coming on the show.
You're
We're
welcome.
gonna wrap it up right now, but we'll cross paths in one manner or another. We'll cross paths, and it'll be definitely great to go meet you in person. So once
Likewise.
again, thanks a lot, YD.
You're
YD,
welcome.
y'all, into his A. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, come on. We're gonna go and wrap up this episode of U5 News Flash. We've got one of the U5 Entertainment folks over here. This is Rad NSK U5 here. Almost ended with this.
Set it off from the left to the right. Everybody off the board, everybody on the floor. Put your hands up, let me keep to set it off and tear the club up. I know you like my style, You like how I take your style and switch it up. We set it off in this. We gon' party till they cut the lights on in this. To get your swag on, grab a chick by the hand and get your dance on. You hear that hits and it's hey my nigga Rad's on. And you can let the music play and get your smash on. We gon' smash on. Now all I need is a little hot mommy in the glass of that tape. My PR shorties like a fashion display. Got everybody glancing the way, and the way mommy do it on the floor make me wanna set it on. Put your hands up, and while you sipping that Patron and you dancing, listen to the anthem. Come on, put them artists in this game, the place to be seen. Yeah, we got what it takes to keep the place jumping. Sipping up whatever's in your cup. No time for me bugging, we ain't here for front end. We set it off, yeah, set it off from the left to the right. Everybody off the board, everybody on the floor. Put your hands up, cause we came to set it off and tear the club up to the floor. I want everybody shaking their tails. I got that embassy flow. Let everybody know how I'm knowing U5 got these fly females getting it popping. Ain't no stopping how we rocking in here. Yes, it's young, fresh to death. Give me some goose and the sex on the beach and I'm set. Get your freak on. Mommy drop it like it's hot. Shorty keep on moving that ass until the beat's gone. It's slow things in the place to be seen. I'm a stizzle, your boy on his jizzle. PX on his his on. Flew across seas to get his on. U5 chapter 4, the house, we go his on. See me in Avalon, catch me in LQs, tearing the club up. I ain't gotta tell you the voice in the scene, the place to be seen. Yeah, we got what